Hello, welcome to the wonderful world of John Arbon Textiles, and I'm John Arbon. We're in the mill and we're going to be talking about Devonia and some new colours and blending the new colours which are coming out very soon, and basically we're going to talk through the whole process on the machine so you can see how we create these lovely colours.
Great, cheers John, let's get into it.
Let's do it. So how do we do that? And you think we're not dyeing it, the yarn, we're dyeing the tops. Okay, so this is our Devonia and these are some of our base colours. So what we've done is we've made the tops in the pure white and then we've sent it away to be dyed up in Bradford, and then to our specific colours, and then they come back, and then what we do is then blend them to create different shades. So if you imagine we've got pots of paint and we're mixing these pots of paint to make a new colour, that's exactly what we're doing with fibre. You can do exactly the same thing, change the colour into the appearance of another colour by blending them together. But how do we blend them together and how do we get that colour? And there's a whole gaggle of things we've got to do. And the first thing we do is have a theme or an idea of where the colour's going to come from. We have tried to keep it within the frame of Devonia, but I've been swimming a lot in the sea. So I've been coming across jellyfish and seaweed, and I've been up my allotment a lot in the woods, seeing lichens and things. So we've gone for those things that we've seen and influence us around us, which is always a nice thing.
We like a bit of nature.
We like a bit of
live in the
nature.
country, we're country souls.
Yeah, and I keep getting seaweed over my face, jellyfish stinging me all over the place, which doesn't hurt, honest, much. And they're lovely, beautiful things, jellyfish. But seaweed we've gone for this one, Furbelows. What a fantastic name of a seaweed. I've seen this stuff bobbing around.
So this is what we're making today.
Yeah, so this is what Sonia's actually created. So she's looked at the shade we want to create and she's gone to our base colours and then she's blended them, not on the machine, I'm using hand carders such as these. And what we do is, well, what Sonia's been doing is weighing out exactly how much of the fibre she's going to use in the proposed blend, and then she simply hand cards the colours together. Looks at it as a twiddle. She thinks it needs a bit more yellow or a bit more brown.
Then I start again.
She'll weigh them out again and start again and reformulate and try it until she gets the exact shade. And we can get these pinpoint. Now, as Sonia's been very clever and recorded all the weights as she goes, we can then convert it.
We're revealing all our secrets here.
Yeah, so we end up on the one side you can see the name and then the colours and then the percentages. So Sonia, from the weights we can work out what percentage of colour.
So that's what this colour we just showed.
Yeah.
Furbelows.
That's
how you make it, is 20% green.
And then this bit here, the chart, is the number of ends, number of tops ends we put into the machine, and there's 6 because we always do things in 6s here. So we do 6 doffs to achieve the blend, and then we re-blend the 6 into another 6 and re-blend that 6 and another 6, and all the time we're getting a far more intimate blend of the colours, and then when the time we come to spin it we get this lovely melange effect of colour.
Nice.
Okay, so that we do this with every shade that we create.
And some of them we blend a bit less, like the Appledore and the Yarnadelics, but this is Devonia and that's got a really nice kind of fully blended shade, so that's what we're doing today, isn't it?
Deep, I suppose they're deeper looking colours, that's why, whereas with Yarnadelic and Appledore we've gone for that real shock of colour in them. A bit more fun, I suppose. These are more maybe stylish.
They're subtle. Yeah, they're a bit more sophisticated,
That's
I
the
guess.
word I
A
was
bit
looking for.
classy,
Yeah,
aren't
exactly
they?
that.
And
So,
timeless.
Yes, so that's what we're doing, and that's why. So we can do it any which way. We create these effects. So what I'm going to do now, you're going to probably see a short bit of film because I've already cheated and it's set up. You say, how did you do that? Sonia's done a fantastic time lapse of me and her setting up the machine on the gill box.
I got to work on a machine.
Did?
That's my first time
Yeah, I
on
know.
a gill box.
You normally don't want to do that, do you?
Well, I don't know how.
You don't
no one's
know
ever
how.
shown me.
No. Keep Sonia well away from machinery.
I am quite a butterfingers, to be honest. I think
Yeah,
I might
let's leave it
lose a
that way.
finger.
So, what we have to do as well, because everything's it's very accurate, we have to make sure that not just the blend ratio is correct, but the weight of our tops for the next part of the process are correct as well. Otherwise, when we come to spin it, the settings on the machine won't be correct and we won't get the count or the thickness or thinness of the yarn we actually want. So it's got to be exactly right. So it's going to blast it for a short period of time and then weigh it and then see what I got, then adjust the gears. It's like changing gears on a car, and then we change the gears and then it will give us hopefully the right weight. It's just a quick blast. And I'll take a sample weight. So that's it, partially blended. You say there's no yellow in there because it doesn't appear yet in this stuff in the formula. That comes later because we want a low percentage of yellow in it. But they're the main colours.
Looks very different from that end goal at this point,
Yeah, it
doesn't
does,
it?
a lot different, but it will, trust us, come out looking lovely. My pre-measured meter, so technical.
And why a meter? What are you doing?
Just so we can work out what our gram per metre is.
Oh, so we're going to weigh it now?
Yeah. Looking for about 15 grams per metre. If I've done my job right, it'd be right. I guarantee it'd be wrong now because you're filming it.
Into the manager's office.
So this is where we test the twist and test the count and all these old bits of kit, but just going to pop this on the scales and it's 15.76. That's not bad, that's quite...
And what's it supposed to be?
15.
Oh, well, that's pretty
Far
good going.
Yeah, cool. So I'll just adjust the gears down, so 15.76. I'll do a quick calculation. So this is where I'm changing gear. So this is, I've just calculated what the ratio is and what it should be to give me the right amount of 15 grams. And I've got to change it. We're there.
Nice and quick.
Yep. I'll reset my counter. Hit fire. Hello and welcome back, and we are part way through making Furbelows, our very new Devonia colour, which I forgot to say will be coming out as a top for hand spinners as well as the yarn
Yeah.
on our special preview. So
And DK and 4-ply.
and DK
And
and
mini
4-ply.
skeins.
And mini skeins.
Oh
Look,
my days.
complete everything. So we've done our first gill. It's gone through the gill box called Ralph here, and we're going to have a little close up so you can see the blends we've done on the formula. It's looking like a Jamaican flag, really.
Oh, it is, isn't it? The
Black.
Olympics are on at the moment.
Yeah,
that
there we
looks
go.
proper.
It does. And there's the other one without the yellow.
So you've done these
There's
two
three of these.
different-
There's 3 green, black and brown.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's 3 black, green and yellow. And the black is in a heavier percentage than the rest of it.
And so here people can see those 6
Yeah.
ends
So we've
you were
created
talking
those.
about.
And it's
And
going to go
then-
through the gill box. And
And
one
the
end comes out,
reason we use 6 ends is because then if you're turning those 6 ends into one,
Yep.
if one end is a little bit uneven or something, it will average it out. Is that correct?
It's called doubling, yeah, so that it levels out everything, but they're all to a specific weight. So if we've done our job properly in the first place, the leveling should be really good, but you're quite right.
It just perfects it.
It does perfect it. And the way it does it is 6 ends in and 1 end out. It's actually drafting as it goes through. So it's being reduced, it's not being stretched. So the front end, if you like, and the fallers in the middle, these nasty looking.
Are you going to show us the scary teeth inside the machine? Ooh.
Okay, so there's a set above and below, and they rake through the fibre, and a combination of a higher speed at the front and the rate at which these move reduces the 6 ends down into 1. Okay, and we can control what weight that is with the gears, and this time it's coming out at 13 grams per metre. And I'll open up so you can see all the scary pins inside. Okay, so there's a set above and a set below, and there in the middle you can see the fibre being blended. And the blend is becoming a bit more intimate, so the colours are beginning to merge and we're beginning to create that melange of colour.
So you can see here on the side that's been through all those pins, it's starting to become a bit more like that sample colour we're aiming for. They're getting more merged.
Here's a bit we did earlier, it's a test bit. So you can
Nice.
see where it's going, but it's got a way to go before it gets to that.
Yeah, definitely still a bit more stripy and a bit more variegated.
But that will be lost. By the time we spin it, it will look like this one.
Cool. So what's the next step then, John?
Do it all again. So,
rinse and
run
repeat.
6 more doffs, and then, but within the final one, we'll go on a different machine out by Kevin the spinner. We'll be putting it on A2D2. It's another gearbox twin head thing that's going to produce a finer weight top ready for the spinner.
Great.
There we go. So here we are. Another gill, another gearbox. So we're on the 3rd and final gill, blending the colour. So it's getting a bit more, my favourite word, intimate, and looking a bit more like it should do towards its final shade. And we're using our gearbox called A2D2.
Due to the bit of the
A2D2 on it.
A2D2. Sounds like a Star Wars robot, doesn't it?
It does go every now and then. And we're running the twin heads, and we're running into small cans, ready for Kevin, which is behind.
Kevin is just over here. How many heads on Kevin, John?
96.
96.
We cut it in half. This is quite a light weight that needs to go into Kevin.
And you can see that colour is much more blended now, isn't it? It's still got a bit more blending to go.
Yeah.
But it's definitely more blended.
It's looking really pretty, I think. Looking
You can
useful.
see it in the top. Oh, it's nice.
So now it's going to come out a lot lighter. So we were at 16, we've dropped to 13 grams per litre. Now it's going to be 6.5 grams per litre to give us the right weight on the spinner frame.
Perfect. Do you need to press the go button then?
Yeah, we're near the end
to
of
make it go.
End of the doff, so here we go.
And so that's what the colour will be like.
We're just doing a small amount here,
So when it comes off of here, will it be ready to go on Kevin, John?
Yep.
This is the
at
final
right weight.
stage.
We're going to put 2 ends up together, and what we'll do is do a test spin. We'll check we're getting the right count, we'll check that the colour's right, and we'll check we've got the right amount of twist in the yarn as well. So we should do all of that. So I'm going to disappear behind Kevin with 2 cans, pop them on, and then we'll spin it and get it going.
Amazing.
Cool. Off I go.
I'm following you.
So obviously we've just done a run of Yarnadelic. Indigo dust.
Matches your t-shirt.
And so we've got to clean the machine down, but we can still do the test spin while we're making all the other ends for the machine. We can clean it up, ready for its next run. Brush it down. So it's a double draft. It drafts it once here and a second time here. Then it'll exit as a very fine stream, and then twist is put in onto a cot. Let's get it going. It's going to get noisy. So here we are in the secret laboratory.
Shanty shed.
A shed. And I'm going to test the yarn. So we finally have our yarn on the cone. Got two. Do two. Check it. And I'm going to put it on our very old rack wheel, which will measure out 80 yards. And then we're going to convert that into a metric system so we can work out how many number of kilometres per kilo we've got, and work out what the count or weight of the yarn is. Very, very straightforward, really. This is a good brand rack wheel. There we go. This is the machine that goes ding.
$80 yards.
80 yards, it's there. So now we've got 80 yards. We'll weigh this. Skein. Stick it on the scales. I take the weight and I do a quick calculation, turn it in from yards into meters, and then working out how many kilometres per kilo we've got based on the weight and length. It's quite straightforward. So. And we're looking for 11.6 nm new metrics. That would be 11.6 kilometres to 1 kilo, and I've got 11.98. I'm going to make a little bit of adjustment to the yarn. This is why we do a test spin. So I'll put a different gear on, but it's not far away in the grand scheme of things. There it is, our little twiddle.
Can
and
you
we've got
show
our
us
colour.
the colour?
Where is the colour? There it is. There we go. So
that looks pretty spot on, doesn't it?
So that was a hand card and twiddle, and then we've got the final yarn spun.
Great.
There's a little twiddle that you did from it as well.
And that's a really nice, just dark green, isn't it?
Yeah, lovely little flecks of yellow and brown in it, and a little bit of black. And yeah, so when you look at, again, it's that melange, isn't it? When you look at it a bit close, you see a little bit more in it.
And it's a real difference between those super solid dyed shades we had to start with, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So that's how we do it.
Cool.
A few adjustments, and then we'll make a lot more cans like we just did earlier. Fill up Kevin to a certain point, hit the button, spin it, and away we go.
Brand new Devonia colours.
Cool.
Well, thanks very much for showing us, John.
It's been a pleasure.
I've been following you around all day long.
Always a pleasure, never a chore, as they say. Thank you all.
See you later.
If I had a little door on my shed, I'd close it now, but I can't. I've taken it away. So, now I'm going to cone the spun yarn into... I'll do it again. So, so now I'm gonna.
It's too much, the mouth noises.
It's too much. I can't do the mouth noises. Giggles. Right. So, right.